They say that all fashion trends come around eventually, so you'd better hope that your mom saved some of her old clothes. Recently, girls have been repurposing their mother's prom dresses decades after they were originally bought. Well, we all know you can't always trust online prom dress shopping, so is this an option you would try? Before we get to the dresses, make sure you're subscribed to the taco. Now, let's begin. The third generation. Sometimes it's worth paying a bit more money for a piece of clothing that's going to last a long time. Most people tend to think of prom dresses as one-time use items, but that doesn't have to be the case. This gorgeous pink gown was a big hit when it was first worn in 1962, and thankfully the owner hung on to it post-prom, because afterwards it was not only worn by one of her teenage daughters but two of them. That's getting some pretty good wear out of your investment, but the story isn't over yet. The dress was passed down until the original owner's granddaughter got a chance to wear it to her prom in 2013. It's safe to say that she definitely got her money's worth out of this dress and started a wonderful family tradition. Online fiasco. When browsing prom dresses online, sometimes the high-quality fashion and low prices can just seem too good to be true. That's because in many cases they are, and the girl ends up with a dress that is nothing like the one she had set her sights on. This girl was one of the many casualties of unfortunate online shopping and found herself in quite a pickle when it came to prom time. However, apparently mom wasn't willing to spring for yet another prom dress that might not work out, so she reached into her very own closet. Her own prom dress is a sleek, dark purple number with a bare back and a slit to take it to the next level. The girl ended up rocking her mom's prom dress while also managing to look sleek and modern, which is pretty impressive. Alternative look. We love a dress that can look totally different when paired with different accessories and makeup. This pretty black dress first made its way out on the dance floor back in 1996. We see this future mother wearing an enormous wrist corsage, minimal makeup, and her blonde hair pulled back into a simple yet flattering updo. It's safe to say that her daughter has a much more alternative sense of style, yet manages to look incredible in the same dress that her mother wore a decade later. When paired with bright turquoise hair, dramatic makeup, and minimal accessories, the look is definitely alternative chic. They say that all women should have a little black dress, but they don't mention that you can apparently raid your mother's closet to find one. Black really does go with everything. Wedding to prom. Besides prom dresses, another type of dress you generally only wear once is a bridesmaid's dress. Brides, we know that you justify the cost you inflict on your bridal parties by claiming that they can definitely wear them again. But let's be real here, they won't. This woman ended up wearing a floor-length black dress as a bridesmaid in her sister-in-law's wedding way back when. After that, she apparently stuck the dress back in her closet instead of selling it on Craigslist, just hoping that it would see the light of day again. Well, it did end up making it out when her daughter decided that she needed a gorgeous black dress to wear to her prom. For most of us, super formal dresses like these definitely aren't for everyday wear, so it makes sense to hold on to your old gowns just in case. The 80s. Many people look back fondly on the 80s, or at the very least, they look back on the 80s sense of style. From big hair to overdone eye makeup, there are lots of trends from that era that could be coming back anytime. When it comes to clothing, not everything was high-waisted, acid wash, or had massive shoulder pads. Just take a look at this stylish and elegant prom dress. We see it paired with some black tights and shoes, hoop earrings, and of course, hair kissed by Aqua Net hairspray. But then we see it almost 30 years later looking much more modern when paired with metallic shoes and a sleeker hairstyle. Although this teenager decided to omit the massive wrist corsage, we love that she's posing in front of a bush that looks like it could have produced the flowers on her mom's corsage. Mermaid. Nowadays, it seems like mermaids are a huge thing. We have mermaid makeup palettes, mermaid-colored hair, and even massive rubber mermaid fins, if all of that isn't enough. But the scaly look and iconic color palette aren't anything new. In fact, we see this shimmery scaled sequin dress being worn to a prom back in 1996. We love all of the bling and beads on this dress and can see why the original owner decided to hang on to it. Unlike many other dresses, this one makes a huge statement, and apparently it's one that the owner's daughter approved of. She wore it to her own prom in 2017, but decided to glam it up even more. She added some massive lashes and some complimentary shimmering eyeshadow just to pull the entire look together. Both women look so great in this dress, it's hard to say who wore it better. Recreation. We've seen some dresses from the 1980s and the 1990s, but now we are going all the way back from the 1970s. The classic floor-length black dress had some fun and flirtatious straps that haven't gone out of style despite all the years that have now passed. Unfortunately, we definitely can't say the same thing about her date suit, but thankfully, guys wearing their dad's prom outfits isn't a thing. Well, at least not yet. This prom dress was worn by the original owner's daughter, who wanted to recreate the same pose that her mother and her date were spotted in when this photo was taken. We will definitely say that she nailed the look and the pose. Even the wood on the wall pays homage to the dress' very first prom night. Alterations. Being able to grab some clothes out of your mom's closet and having them fit perfectly is great, but sometimes you need to make a few alterations, whether because of sizing issues or to update something. This prom dress is gorgeous, and we're sure that it was totally in style at the time, but it does look a little bit dated in this decade. Luckily, this daughter was able to look past the massive pile of frills and see something truly special underneath. She gave the dress a total makeover, starting with shortening the length. Then it was the sleeves piled high with lace that just had to go. Finally, the dress was ready to look amazing at prom with the next generation. It almost looks like an entirely different dress unless you look closely. What a great way to make lemonade out of lemons, or a stylish dress out of an outdated one. White dress. The little black dress gets a lot of credit for being a wardrobe staple. While it definitely is, sometimes a little white dress can do the job just as well. This prom dress, originally worn in 1987, was a delicate classic in a neutral color, meaning that it had a good chance of someday being worn and loved again. Because of the unique cut and lace bodice, it doesn't need much in the way of accessories. In fact, in this picture, we're pretty distracted by the awful background this lovely couple was photographed in front of. Years later, this dress was worn by the woman's daughter, who was wearing a hairstyle similar to that of her mother. She even convinced her date to wear a matching white suit just to complete the look. Wild. Most prom photos we see are posed on people's front lawns, in their living rooms, or in front of a backdrop at the dance itself. We aren't sure why this woman chose to have her prom photo taken in some sort of catacomb, but we have to say that we aren't hating the look. This dress is definitely the least subdued one we have seen so far, and proves that our parents were once as free-spirited as we were. At least she tried to make it more formal by pairing it with a sleek pair of black elbow-length gloves. When it came time for her daughter to wear the same belly-bearing dress, she opted to show off her wild side and get her picture taken in a forest. She even struck the same unorthodox pose as her mother did ages before. Green with envy. When it comes to prom dresses, many people choose either a neutral color or decide to go totally bold with a bright red or blue. It's not often that we see a stunning deep emerald green color on a prom dress, so it's definitely going to stand out. This dress has a flattering black top and a long and luxurious emerald green skirt that peeks up to let you show off your stylish shoes. It was just too lovely not to ever wear again, so this woman's daughter decided to rock it for her own prom. We would definitely say that this style falls under the vintage category, but that isn't a bad thing in this case. And it seems like this teen has embraced the label by pairing it with a pair of long black gloves. Some things look great when updated to be modern, while others look the best the way that they were first created. Military ball. Perhaps the most gorgeous part of this photo is how much fun this woman seems to be having. This photo is from 1988, where this woman attended her senior military ball, and a ball is what it looks like she's having. While everyone else is in uniform, she shows off her style by wearing a lovely pink dress that would be suitable at any prom. And it had the chance to be worn to a prom, and not just any prom, of course. It was the prom of the original owner's daughter. She decided to dress up the classic pink dress with multiple strands of pearl necklaces and a pretty hairpiece. She even made her date hold her shoes while she commandeered his coat. She must be feeling fabulous in this pretty pink dress. Recycling. We're guessing that many of these women hung on to their own prom dresses because they couldn't bear the thought of tossing something they spent so much money on. Maybe some of them even convinced themselves that they could totally wear them again sometime. But this mother admitted that it was always her dream to have a daughter and see her wearing the dress that she wore to her own prom. Well, eventually she got her wish when her daughter grew up and started getting ready for her own prom. It's a sweet family story, and we love this mom holding on to something for decades just for her daughter. Or maybe she just hated prom dress shopping so much that she vowed never to do it again. We may never know the truth. Those sleeves. Sometimes articles of clothing need a major overhaul if they ever want to see the light of day again. But this prom dress is a fantastic example of how a single simple change can take a dress into a more modern era. There's no denying that this prom dress is lovely, but what is with those massive sleeves? We're sure they were the height of style at the time, but now they just look like water wings, and that would be enough to turn most people off from wearing this. But thankfully, her daughter was able to see through the dated sleeves. By ditching the water wings and adding a couple of straps, she ended up with a lovely prom dress, and a great way to pay tribute to her mother. High fashion. Okay, so we have tried not to pick a favorite dress because they're all so nice and we love the symbolism of wearing a mother's prom dress. But it's just too hard not to adore this stunning prom dress. The cut, the pattern, and the colors make it look like something out of a high fashion magazine. No wonder this mother saved her prom dress because it would have practically been a crime to get rid of such a gorgeous gown. Her daughter apparently has the same great taste as her mother and couldn't resist the chance to wear this dress to her own prom. Not only did she wear her mom's dress, but it also looks like she took some tips from her mother when it came to accessorizing as well. It looks just the same, right down to the white and red wrist corsage. What do you think about this trend of reusing prom dresses? Let us know what you think in the comments section and be sure to click subscribe for more videos from the Taco. Thanks for watching!